New York is actually becoming probably one of the best cities out there because if you're ever going broke, you just put your mask on, right? You just put your mask on and go up to your neighbor's house and just take what you need. That's basically what's happening, right?
Yeah, if it was that easy. And isn't there, aren't they like making systems now where they can actually track who you are behind the mask? See, nah, I'm all set. But yeah, I mean, the main reason I mean, even in California was for acting, and with social media and everything, it's like there's so many opportunities where you don't have to just be in LA to act anymore. Um, you can go to other places and create your own kind of content, or you can put out content and if you're good enough and a producer or director finds you, they'll be like, hey, we're in LA, we'll fly you out to audition for this movie or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So there's so many outlets now that when I first came to California, they were probably there, but they weren't as big. So now it's not a thing where you have to be in LA to be an actor type of thing.
So walk me through moving from New York to LA. It's
Or Connecticut
completely
to LA.
Connecticut. Oh, Connecticut still is the opposite, right? Other side of the
Yes.
country.
Yeah.
So you mostly did that for you to have a better opportunity in your field, right?
Yes.
So how was that like when you made that decision to do it? Was your family supportive?
No, at all, not at all. And it's funny. So I'll tell you a little. I came right after high school, like 6 months after high school, and I had never like I come from a family that's very protective and um they're just strict, right? So I've never really been like outside on my own type of thing. Like I never did the partying in high school and all that stuff, right? So I've always been a unsheltered kid in a way. So moving out to California, I was like, I'm gonna go to California. I'm gonna go across the country for the first time, and I want to do a road trip. So, and I didn't drive at the time, right? So my dumb self decided to take a Greyhound bus. Okay. Do you know how? Yes, you see that face you made? Exactly. I
Wow.
wish at 18 I knew not to do that because it was about a 4-day trip, right? And
And
you're
you
on
was
a
on the bus with
just random strangers.
yeah. And how was the people?
The people were super nice, and like I always say this, like I think people always look at me like, you put yourself in these situations, like you never know. There's bad people out there, and I really do think there's some like angel that's watching over me or something because even in that situation where I was literally going away from home for the first time, I was 18 years old. I knew nothing about the world. On this bus, anything can happen to me. Like I could get take, like anything can happen. And I met the nicest people. People giving me advice, people asking me like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And I would my naive self, I shouldn't have told them because now you're making yourself more of a target. But I would tell them like I'm moving to California for school and I'm doing acting and da da da. And people would give me advice like where in California you should go visit, what you should do, how you should protect yourself and this. And it was like I just met nice people. No, not anybody, at least to my knowledge, that wanted to harm me. So that was nice, but the experience of it was terrible. Like, I remember when I got on the bus in Connecticut, right, and I said bye to my family and everything. Um, I remember like it didn't hit me. I was like so excited. I'm like, I can't wait to get out of here. Like, bye. Like, I'm not doing this crying thing. I just want to go. Let me go. Right. And then the bus went to New York. So it went from Connecticut to New York. That was the first stop because it stops in different states to pick up more people and drop people off. Right. And then when we got to New York, it got dark. And then we were leaving the station in New York. And that's when it hit me like, oh my God, I'm really doing this. And it wasn't like I wasn't scared, but it was just more like it really hit me. Like I'm really doing this. Like I'm really leaving the state. I'm going away from everything and anybody I know. I don't know anybody across the country, and I'm really doing this. And then after that, I was like, okay, we're on a journey. And then as the as it progressed, so the timetable of this. So I left on the 28th of December. So it was right after Christmas, right? My first day of college, my film school was the second, January 2nd, I believe, or January 3rd. And I was supposed to get there like one day before. But what happened was, so you're from the East Coast. You know how we get snow over there. We get lots of snow, right? And it's nothing. On the West Coast, you get a little bit of snow and people freak out, right? So while we were going through New Mexico, yeah, are you predicting where this is going already? So
I
as we
sure.
were going, as we were going through New Mexico, apparently there was or was it Texas? No, we were passing through Texas, and the next state over was New Mexico that we would stop at. But apparently it was snowing in New Mexico. They had 1 inch of snow. They closed the roads for 1 inch of snow. So I spent my New Year's night in a Greyhound bus in Texas, Amarillo, Texas. It was freezing. They gave us like sandwiches or something because they felt bad or whatever the hell it was. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse.
No, you could.
Okay. But yeah, and it was just freezing. And literally I had people calling me saying Happy New Year's. And I'm like, oh, Happy New Year's. I'm on a bus in New Mexico. In Texas. So that was an experience. But and I just remember, like, I was like, oh my God, like I forgot what city or town we were in or state, but I was like, I just want to turn back. Like, I'm over being on this bus for 4 days. I'm like, I feel gross. You can't shower. Like you had to go to the bathroom and clean yourself up. It was a terrible experience that I don't recommend it for anybody. If you're gonna do a cross country trip, make sure it's in a car and it's on your terms. But yeah, I was this close to like, listen, I'm just going to find the nearest airport and I'm going back home. And then I was like, no, we're already here. We're literally like 2 states away. We're going to do it. And then we finally did it. I forgot where I was going with this. So yeah, that was the story of how I came to California for the first time. But going back to your question